So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to pipe over the code which allows us to calculate the surface rates for all of these potential structured pairs that we've just pulled over here. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to loop through those. So we're going to say, for triangular pair in structured pairs, we're going to loop through these and actually go and perform a triangular arbitrage potential price calculation to get the surface rate. And those surface rates, we will return that surface rate. We're going to say surface rate is going to be equal to a function, and we'll put the function here. And actually, we're going to paste this in. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. And here what I'm going to do is just say calculate surface arb potential. And this is going to be, again, a function or method, which is going to be calc triangular arb surface rate. And we're going to pass in here our triangular pair. And so this is where we're going to put all of our code. And right now, what I'm going to do is just print, and I'm going to print, the T pair. And I'm going to print the first item. Let's say, let's put in pair A, or A pair, I believe it's called here. So let's just go and run that and see how that looks. And it says here we have an issue with surface rate is equal to. So let's go back here. Oh, of course, I need to actually copy this function here, this line for the function, and paste it there, or this line here for the method, and paste it here. The other thing that we need to do is also call this from the other file. So it's going to be func triangular arb because it's in that file, and here's the function. So now if I save that and I go and run it, you should see here that we get, oh, it still hasn't worked. So here we have a pair. Let's go back and see what our dictionary looks like. So here I've got a pair, and the reason is because I'm using the JavaScript syntax here for actually pulling these. Now, before what I'd done is actually put these in a Python format, which we're not going to do because we're actually going to start using JavaScript to actually use this information as well. So we're going to take this information and we're going to actually pipe it over to JavaScript and actually go and calculate, what the real depth is for Uniswap v3. So I know that sounds like an absolute mouthful, and it probably is, but it doesn't matter whether you label these in a format that works better for Python. That's absolutely fine. You can leave it as it is. But here I'm using this JavaScript, camel casing here, which will be a lot better. So let's go back over here to print out a pair. And so what I need to do is actually label this as such a pair and go and hit play here. And there we go. This is printing out, it's looping through each one of these and printing out the A pair. Now we don't need it to print this out. What we need it to do is calculate an arbitrage opportunity. So what I'm going to do, again, similar to what I did above here, I'm actually going to copy and pipe that code across. And the reason for that is because usually I like to type code out line by line and explain what's going on. But the reason I'm going to do it this other way is what I felt doing the Poloniex, CFI method there is we were typing out line by line and we were focusing more on the code than on the actual logic of what was happening. Now, we went through the intuition, and we went through the intuition even again and like a scrapbook approach during that session or those sessions, but it's an awful lot of code, which is exactly the same as what we used before. So it makes more sense to actually, put the code in here and go with the code that we've already got, but spend the time talking through what is actually happening here and some of the tweaks that I've had to make for this to work for Uniswap. Or what I should say is for blockchain and crypto. So I'm just going to take that exact same logic, I'm going to pipe it over here, and then I'm going to talk through it. So I've got it copied to the clipboard. All I'm going to do here is just go Control V and paste all that information in here. So we've got just tons of lines of code here. And now, what will you do when it comes to doing this? Well, simply just go to the file here, the func triangular arb file that's included in the resources with this course, and just go and grab the code. It's exactly the same as how we did it before with Poloniex. So you're not going to see any new logic here. What you're going to see is just a slightly different naming of variables. And that's just because we're working now strictly with crypto and blockchain smart contracts rather than, a centralized exchange. And so in the next session, what I want to do is actually just talk through exactly what's going on.